In this video, we'll be learning about using the GIS census data provided by WAGDA. Opening up WAGDA, we're able to come over here to download WAGDA census databases. Click here and come down to 2010 SF1 and download the geodatabase. Within this geodatabase, there are many files. One of them is a PDF. So I'm going to navigate in my normal browser to that PDF. So my GIS data, I'm going to scroll through here, actually sort by type. So right here at the top is that PDF. So I'm going to open this. And inside here is a reference table to how to understand the data within that geodatabase. And so what we have here is a table number, which represents the field number in the table as well as the table number. And so we'll come back to this in a second. So I'm going to close this. So now I have a new map started, and like any new map, my data, I will right click layers, go to properties, make sure that I have a coordinate system set. For us, since we're in Washington, we want to have the NAD 1983 state Washington set. Go to general, make sure that my proper coordinates are set here, click OK. Next I'm going to open up our catalog, and I'm just going to add, I'm going to open up the King SF1 2010 Geo database. Inside of here we'll see all the files associated with the census data. So for our analysis, we're going to be wanting to use the King block data set, and that will be pulled into our map. And next we'll want to grab our Thornton Creek watershed shapefile. Once again, hit close, put that on top here, we'll zoom in. And now next we'll just we want to make a select by location in order to select all the blocks within our watershed. So we're going to have the King block selected here. Thornton watersheds are source layer and intersect. We'll hit OK. Once this has been selected, I will highlight King block, right click, and now I will export the data. I'll export this and call this watershed census. Hit save and hit OK. I'm going to export that to my map, turn that off, and now I will remove that data. So now I have refined my search down to only the area within our watershed. And I will give this a nice bright red color, turn off the fill, bump it up to 1. So that way we can kind of understand the boundary in relation to these blocks. So if I select the layer, open up its attribute table, what we'll notice is that there's actually no real data associated with this based on any census data at least. This is purely information for us to then join tables to this data set that then will then make the census data available to us. So when I open up our catalog and open this up, what we see in this icon here is that all of these are tables. So right here, SF0001, if I open up that PDF again, we have this 01 is representing this layer here. So I'm going to drag this in. And as you can see here at the table of contents, we jump over because this is by the drawing order, so tables aren't drawn. so they won't ever show up in this view. So we have to go to list by source here to actually see that table in our data set. And so what we can do in here, we can right click and then open. And here what we see P0010001. So I'm going to open up this table again. And we have that located here. And now we can actually see that this represents total population. So that field represents total population. And so depending on the data that we want, we use that PDF to identify the data sources that are available in this database. And so based on this number and then what that tells us, we can then add different types of data sets to our map. But for our case, we just want population. And so to join data together, what we do is I will right click my watershed census, go to join and relate, join. In the drop down here, I'll want to join attributes from a table. And here I have to pick the unique identifier, or the field that matches between the two. So that way it knows how to associate the data from the table that then match it to the proper data within the watershed census. WAGDA has set it up so that this log_ren_co is the matching data set for all of the census data. Other data sets that require this unique identifier, you'll have to read through their metadata or tutorials in order to identify what that is. Once we have the proper element selected, we could validate join. I already know this works, so I'm just going to keep only the matching record because we don't want to have things that aren't associated with this, and click OK. Now, once we open this, and we pan over, we now see the data from that table associated with this layer. So this will allow us to then go to our properties, symbology, we can go by quantities, and we can go by population. So now, if we hit OK, we can create a map showing the number of people based on different ranges in each census block. I recommend playing with some of the other data sets to then begin to identify different demographic relationships in our area.